All right, guys, here we go. Going to get you started on this V-carve, or what y'all know as CNC machine, to learn how to program it, okay? I'm going to walk you through the, well, probably 3 different projects that you're going to have here in class. The first one being putting your name in the middle of a 4x8 inch board. That's 4 inches wide and 8 inches long board, okay? Step by step, you can always come back and take a look at this, okay? I'm going to move right through it, so if you ever have to come back and look again, you can do this, okay? You can look at it at home, you can look at it wherever I'm post this up on YouTube, and you can just keep taking a look at it, okay? So this is a very simple, very easy to do, but you got to follow directions, okay? If you don't follow directions, it can lead to bad things once we go out into the shop and program and put your program into the actual machine and get it going, okay? So pay attention to everything that's going on here. You have some questions you need to be answered on your worksheet that goes along with this. Make sure you have that. You can go along and do those as you go. You got divine, answer, and all that, okay? So take care of that. Work together as a group, and I've got the 2 computers set up, so that's 3 to a computer and maybe 1 more. We may be able to get 2 people on a computer and working like that, okay? So here we go. So as soon as you open up here, that's what it's going to look like. Your V-carve desktop, there ain't going to be many things you're going to be able to do on that computer you have. This is probably not the only thing, and then be able to surf the web a little bit. Okay? Go to create a new file. That's where we're going to start, and it's going to pop up, and it's going to look like this. Your width of your board is X. Your Y is your height, and then your thickness of your board is Z. Okay? So our first off the bat is going to make it a 4x8, 4.0, so 4 inches, and your height's going to be 8 inches, 8.0, and we're going to say the thickness of our board is a 1/2 inch. If it's thicker than that, go ahead and change that. Make sure your units are in inches, and you should be good to go, okay? Now, our next position, as you can see, we are looking at it. Imagine standing out looking at the CNC machine. You are more going to be looking at it from over here, okay? So this would be the front of the machine looking back. So when you start pushing buttons and making it work and all that, we will be standing over here looking at that. I will walk you through it the first time, okay? Maybe the second. Not many more after that. Okay? So material surface, that's where we want to start from. That's on the tip of the board. So when you start that, your router bit, we want to get as close as we can to the top of the board as we can, okay? XY datum position, where are we going to set it? We are letting the machine know that we're going to start at this corner. We can start it in the middle if we want to. If you do that, which is there's nothing wrong with, especially with this small board right here, and to keep your clamps out of the way, do this, but you need to find your dead center. So measure from here and find your dead center, Find your dead center and move on with that, okay? Put you a little dot and let's go. I like starting it here and doing from there, okay? All is good there. We kind of take a look down, what kind of modeling resolution we have and all that, okay? That is done. We are done here. Let's push OK. Our board is now set up. We are ready to move on with this. And let's get that click there. There we go. So we are now ready to put our name in. Okay, so let's go down here. We're going to create our vectors, and there's all these different things. Don't let this overwhelm you. Everything has its own place. Does that make sense? So let's just do we're going to do a quick, just choose this T right here for create a text. And all we're going to do is put our name in there, okay? So I'm going to put Wilson. Now, don't worry about this being great big and all that. We can go right here in the middle. We can grab it. And as you can see, it's not going to fit like this. So let's grab a blue and we can spin it around. Okay, grab a corner, make it smaller, pull it in. And now, this is the easy thing. If you do not like what you have here on your font, you can change it. Go right here and pick what you want. Okay, I like, what is it? Starts with a P, papyrus or whatnot, or whatever. I'm just going to stick simple. So I'm going to stick with that. Now, I'm going to slide this back over. Yes, things will change as you change it. Okay? So I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to make it smaller so it fits on the middle of the board. Okay, and put it there. If you'll notice, you have lines up here on top. This is a measuring stick. Okay, a ruler, 0 to 4, 4 inches wide. And over here, you have it going up too. So 0 to 8. Always remember, your clamps are going to take up a little bit of room. Okay, I like to clamp here on the corners or down here on the bottom. Okay, so keep that in mind as we move right along. Okay, so we've got this taken care of. Let's go up here to edit. Let's make sure it's dead in the middle. Align selected objects, center and material, and it moved it for me. Did you notice? Okay, so I'm going to hit close. We're good there. All right, so if I wanted to do anything else on this, I can still do. Okay, but right now we're just sticking with our name. Let's start very basic here, okay? Sticking with our name. So we've got that, we're done. Now let's slide over to toolpaths, click on toolpaths, and now we need to set up our material setup. This is going to be our height and all that, okay? So material setup, thickness of your board, XY datum, kind of reviewing what you've already done, okay? So slide on down through there, move on down. Z0, we're going to do material surface, gap above, it's going to be 0. Now, here's where you might have to program. This is your rapid Z, gaps above the material. What this means is Z1 is going to be your clearance. When it raises up, when the router raises up and moves to a different letter, you need to have plenty of clearance. Okay, so Z1, I've got it set at 0.5. That's a ½ inch. That is plenty. Okay, so if you don't have that right now in your program, set that up, change that. And I've set my plunge Z2. Once it hits, plunge means this, Z2. Once it hits the material surface on 0, how deep is it going to go when it starts cutting and doing all that and carving it out, okay? So I've got this is set at 0.06 inches. All right, so we are well under, somewhere right around a 1/16 of an inch or so. Okay, so that's kind of low. That's where we want it. We don't want to dig in deep. Okay, you go any deeper, we're getting ready to have issues. You could have issues unless you want it deep. Let's stick with this low rate. Okay. All right, so and it goes on down. Home, start position, X, Y, and of course, gap above Z is 0.51. And let's hit OK on that. If I can move some stuff around here, say OK. All right, so that's going to take us back over here. How are we going to cut this out? Let's just do a simple V-carve. All right, so our cutting depths, our start depth, D, as you can see, is going to be 0. Our flat depth, in other words, how deep do you want it to go once it really gets going good? I've got it set at 0.06. Again, a great depth for what we're doing, okay? We're just learning, remember that. Slide down, don't worry about any of this, okay? Do not worry about it. Go ahead and check off, use vector start points, selection order, project toolpath onto 3D model, check that. Make sure all 3 of these are checked. Now we need to go to selector, all right? Move this again, get it out of the way. And we're going to make sure we have checked off our open vectors, check off our closed vectors, all closed vectors, make sure that's there, make sure this is here, and we want to associate with toolpath. Okay, let's close that. This should be pink right now. If it's not pink, we got issues. So let's take a look-see, and we're going to go to calculate, and there we go. At this point in time, it's letting us know we are good. Yes, you can grab it and you can spin it around and real quick, we're going to see what it's going to look like once it gets cut. So here's our speed. So I'm going to put it about halfway, click on play. And as you can see, it's going to show you how it's going to look as it's getting cut out there. Okay. So I'm going to speed this up so we can just move right along. All right. There you go. And you can see the depth, not very deep, but it will show up great. Okay, so I am good there. Let's close that out. How long is this going to take me? Guys, quick reminder, we only have one machine and there's probably 6 of you in your group or so. So pay attention to your time and how much time you're spending. cutting things out. We only have so much time in class, okay? So this little project's going to take a whopping 1 minute and 37 seconds. That's great. That's great. Okay? So let's close that. And now we're ready to save. All you need to do is put your zip drive in, click on the Save Toolpath, and we need to select a post processor. So let's go there. We need to be on CNC Shark, or actually CNC Piranha Arcs inch. Make sure it's inch. Okay? If you have it on anything else besides this, bad day in paradise. I have learned my lesson too many times, okay? Once you have that, all you're going to do now is click Save Toolpath, and you're ready to move on. Okay? So we're going to hit that. We'll close it out, and you're ready to go. Take your zip drive, make sure it's done loading. Click on this, pull it out, make sure it's done. Take it out to the machine, get it set up, and we're ready to go, okay? Got any questions, holler at me. And that's your first one. I'll have another one for you